All right, let's move on and talk about Amazing Spider-Man at 584. This is
booming applause over
bear
here.
claps.
There's a giant-handed man over here.
well, Mark Kruger and I wrote this, of course, but Dan, talk a little bit about what goes into this arc and what it's leading up to.
What goes into this arc is...
We even chase the character first.
Capture pages of awesome. Is what goes into this arc. It's John Romita Jr. returning to Amazing Spider-Man. What a weird noise. Blues man. And this is going to resolve 3 of the big mysteries that have been going on in the book. You're going to find out what the secret is behind the Spider Tracer killer, the secret identity of Menace, and it will resolve who will be the next mayor of New York in the Marvel Universe.
Yes, Kitty.
Me.
Spoiler. Okay. What do you guys think about this?
I like that we're finally figuring out the answers here, because what I really like about the way you guys are doing it is you do have subplots. So many stories now are like, this will last 4 issues, and then everything is made up from the first issue and ends by the 4th. So it's nice to see the old way of having all these subplots going. You resolve one, another one takes its place, blah, blah, blah. That's great.
Is that because there's so many writers on it? Is that why it's so layered?
When we get to the summit, we all talk about where we're going. We plan on a big board where everything's going. The more we do this, I think the better we're getting at it. Because Marvel's never put out a book like this before, where it's one title coming out 36 times a year. No one writer can do it unless you're Jeff Jones. Or Brian Michael Bendis. No, equal time. So it just means we have to figure this stuff out, and we have to link it together and make sure all the web comes together.
Now, is there fights to see who writes what arc, or is it just pretty much if you come up with the idea, it's yours?
It changes back and forth. I stole the Anti-Venom sword from somebody else. Took him out with a lead pipe. And the action figure comes out in March. It's my first guy who's made it to an action figure.
Oh, that's cool.
What is your next arc? Or when is it?
It's coming up in April. It's a 2-parter with Spidey and the FF. Barry Kitson. It's going to be great. It's going to pick up on some fun stuff we did in the Spider-Man Human Torch mini a while back. And at the end of it, there's a major game changer for Spider-Man's world that we're all kind of getting jazzed about going into the next big push next year of Spidey. And it will be reflected in almost every Marvel title.
Oh, wow.
Like nowadays, it's like you can feel that Spider-Man's in that universe, that he's meshed in, he's not in a little bubble. Because like other people will pick up a newspaper and it's the DV instead of the Daily Bugle. Or little things here and there. Or that no one remembers his secret identity is picked up in other books. This is something bigger. And it's new. It's not us dealing with ramifications of stuff. It's us moving forward with something new, which is exciting.
Do you think there'll be big riots? People like, how could you do that?
That people lead.
I remember at a Marvel Summit with everybody, not just the Spider guys. Summit.
Yeah, love it.
Kimmy's having a summit.
Yeah.
We'll all be there.
We told people to change, and a lot of the other writers were like, "What? Like, you have to." But then the next summit, everyone.
I'm sorry, summit.
Yeah. The next one, everyone was like, "Oh, the next one you're doing that," and everyone was like, geared towards it.
Heidi, do you have any summits? Blog summits?
I have a summit with myself. That's the problem. Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about.
Self-summiting, yeah.
I self-summit all the time.
I knew you were going to go there.
I'm just going to go to a thesaurus now and come up with a different word.
So pick this up. It's great. Let's move on and talk about Mysterious the Unfathomable #1.
It's Jeff Parker. He's the coolest guy in the world.
Yeah,
Wow.
and Tom Fowler's the second coolest guy in the world.
They finally teamed up. There must be some animosity between them.
And this
Join
guy is
together.
the third coolest guy in the world. Yeah.
Is there a push?
Oh,
That's debatable.
He called him up, he's like, I'll be on your back cover.
Let's make a deal.
What do you guys think about this issue?
It's the art is fantastic. It helps with the magical world that it's set up in.
Yeah, very quickly, it's essentially setting up this magician, Mysterious the Unfathomable, who is actually a magician, actually uses magic, and it's told through the eyes of his new assistant,
Yeah.
B.
Yeah, the art's amazing. Really helps with the story. Really brings you into the world. The writing's great. It's really setting up some interesting things. As far as like a first issue, I'm completely on board and wanting the second one. I think it does a great job.
I'm surprised this didn't come out through Vertigo. It has like a Vertigo feel to it, and it's a Wildstorm book.
Yes. No, I agree with you. I mean, yes,
I was
go
just gonna
ahead.
say-
I was laughing that to you, but
No, I was just going to say that Jeff brought that up on his blog. He was talking about how people were like, why is this a Wildstorm book? You know, Wildstorm has done a lot of really great things in the past. Now they're more known for adaptations and rebooting Wildcats over and over and over. But in the past, they have done a lot of their own stuff that actually went over quite well. So it's kind of a return. So they haven't left that behind, really. So.
I agree. It's a good book. It's the guy more than a magician. He does like seances and whatnot. There's a big seance here. And when they go to the spirit world, it's a really cool take on it that I really like. Definitely worth picking up.
Yeah, very unique book, very interesting, very fun, and definitally curious to see where it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, hey. All right, let's move on to talk about Dark Avengers #1. What'd you guys think about this?
It's definitely very exciting. I answer some questions, kind of really set things up. I'm into it. I'm excited about it. I almost feel like I'm more excited now than when Secret Invasion started happening.
Really? Why?
Yeah.
Because it's more evil.
Yes! You know me.
Now, in this, Norman Osborn kind of sets up a bunch of fake villains as heroes, dressing as heroes.
Yeah, which was very cool.
So there's a Wolverine character, but it's not Wolverine, it's Wolverine's son.
Right?
Yeah. Do you like that?
Well, I thought it was funny because he's like, why would you do that? He's like, imagine how pissed off Wolverine's gonna be.
Yeah, my dad. Fuck my dad.
Actual dialogue from the book.
Yeah.
Is Tommy Lee Jones in here?
Right? Yeah. What happened, Dan? Yeah, it's funny when people use photos to do that. Sometimes it's like, oh, that's kind of cool. That one, it's like, that's too much Tommy Lee Jones.
Maybe it's an actor they can afford.
Yeah.
I do actually really like Mike Deodato art. He does a good job. He did a great job on Thunderbolts. This is essentially what Thunderbolts was, which is a dark, villainous team of superheroes. So having him come over to this title makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I enjoyed this a lot more than I thought I would, honestly,
Yeah.
because I wasn't crazy about, hey, let's take this great idea. I don't like it when people take somebody else's really good idea and get really excited about it. And they're like, cool, you stop doing your idea. And
I want to do it.
Which is what this kind of felt like, but it establishes it nicely and it has a nice tone to it. And I do think Bendis picks up on what Ornell set up with Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
And the way he brings all the characters into the fold is really smart.
Yeah.
He gives Venom a little pill or something that makes him tiny. It's better than both.
It's like a chemical brick.
Yeah.
That he has to throw it. But I remember reading it, hearing Bendis tell it, and then reading it in the script, and then seeing it. It's a cool bit.
I also enjoyed when Venom was eating Skrulls, and they made the Skrull change into Spider-Man before he ate them. That was great.
That was really cool.
Yeah.
Weird fetish.
Talk a little bit about the coordination that goes on between the Avengers books, or if any.
No, it's really good. Like with any kind of book, you get to read the script ahead and work it all out, and we go to these gatherings.
More gatherings tomorrow.
And we do coordinate and figure things out. So if you look at like Secret Invasion, but I think that was a really good example of how all this stuff gets coordinated. Where you can have a miniseries, you can have Hercules, like all his adventures are dealing with this section of it, and the Initiative's dealing with this, and Captain Britain's dealing with that. and each one can stand on its own, but they all weave together to a beautiful tapestry.
Oh, that's nice.
So if you like tapestries, you'll love this book.
Vicious, evil tapestry.
That's pretty much all tapestries.